Alright. Gonna go ahead and move into the interviewing phase. Let's start it off with, just go ahead and tell me a little bit about yourself, Jonathan.
All right. Well, as you know, my name's Jonathan. I was born right in the outskirts up by Sandy. My dad used to actually be a park ranger way back in the day. So I used to always love being around the nature and all that. I used to hear a bunch of stories from my dad and all that. I'm a really outgoing guy. Love interacting with people. I can easily be talked to. All that stuff. Um, and I really like having a fun time with people. I'm not scared. I'm not shy. None of that.
Awesome. So I heard you say something about your dad being a park ranger and everything. Is this
Yo,
is this part of the deciding factor of you becoming an LEO? Is there any other deciding factors?
uh, well, like I said, I was born in the outskirts. I really love being a part of nature. Not just being a park ranger that wants me to be an LEO. My dad obviously used to partake in the duties of an officer, and I used to hear a bunch of stories about it. I enjoyed it so much to the point where I just I might actually want to do this. I want to turn this into a dream job to be like my dad.
I understand that. So
Yeah.
out of all the departments, since I mean you have a little knowledge on the park rangers. I mean, I'm sure you know there's LSPD as well. Why'd you select the BCSO specifically?
Well, again, like I said, I was born in the outskirts. Um, but like I said, my dad first started off as BCSO before he went over to park rangers or whatever. I enjoy being outside the city. I like driving out there. I like the nature. I like the off roading. All of that. Being in the city. I don't mind being in the city. It's just that all these buildings and shit that kind of feel like a trap to me. So when I'm outside, you know, by Sandy, Polito, anywhere out there, I feel more free and all that.
Okay, doke. Just excuse me one moment.
No worries.
What's up?
I just double checking to see who was doing interviews. No problem. I've got two individuals just waiting for you outside. All right.
Out in the lobby.
Yeah. I was just double checking to see if you were doing interviews or not. To be
Yeah.
fair, more than that.
Yeah.
All right, because two guys are out there waiting. So I just tell them how long you gonna be done with this one.
Yeah. One of them should already know. Cause I've spoken to one of them already. The other one's new. But yeah, it'll take what for that third one that just walked in, probably 40-50 minutes before he gets his interview.
Okay. Do you know if anyone else is coming in to do interviews?
It's just kind of a random. I wasn't really expecting anything. They've already just kind of came in, and I was like, fuck it.
How many interviews do you guys go through? Do you know? Like how many applications actually got accepted?
We're looking to accept at least 20.
Okay. No problem.
So
I'll let them know. All
there's
right.
definitely more than 20.
Okay. Perfect. Right, I'll let them know that they've got about 20 minutes for this guy and then another like 30 minutes for the next guy, right?
Yep.
Perfect. All right.
All right. Apologies about that.
I all good.
So you like the country and you like its freedom.
Okay.
Okie dokie. Ba. What do you know about the BCSO other than it's out in the country and we like the nature and all that jazz?
Well, I do know that you guys are a pretty outgoing and forward company. I haven't really heard too much about BCSO, but from what I've heard from my dad, which is a long time ago, it used to be like a outgoing and forward company. A lot of respect for that company, and a bunch of people, like to. There's a company that people respect and weren't, ashamed to be a part of.
Okay. Why do you think you're qualified to become a sheriff's deputy?
Well, like I said, I'm a very easy and interactive person. Anybody can come up to me, I'm not shy. I'm not scared to talk to people. I also love to have fun. regardless, of course, I like to be serious when it comes down to being serious in terms of business. But with that being said, I shouldn't be somebody who's people are afraid to approach. I'm really easy to talk to people. I can be able to understand everybody's perspective on things, and I don't have an anger, um, I guess personality. I don't get angered easily and all that. Easily, I can control myself and all that.
Awesome. What about career goals? Would you have any?
In terms of BCSO.
Yeah. Let's see. What would you like to reach further into? Like dipping your hand in the cookie jar. What would you like to grab out of the cookie jar being here?
Oh, I mean, I want to see where it could take me. Like of course I want to put in my work. I want to see how far I can get, but my end goal isn't obviously to get into the highest ranks possible, but I do want to be a part of the company to a point where I can be able to have a standing, and be able to be a part of it. I'll possibly go towards park rangers, but I want to see where I can take it.
Okay. What about 3 of your greatest strengths and 3 of your greatest weaknesses that you think you have?
All right. First off, with the strengths, like I said, I'm an easy person to interact with. I'm not shy. Everyone can come and talk to me. I love having fun, no matter what it is that's going on. And of course, when it comes down to going to putting in work, I always have my mindset on what I need to be doing. 3 weaknesses. I will say I'm not that athletic. I don't really have what do they call it, athletics lung or whatever. I don't really have that endurance. Um, Regardless though, another weakness I do have is that I do tend to find myself talk a lot at some points, so I do tend to bore some people out. Another weakness is I don't know. It's kind of hard to think of one that I kind of have for myself.
Well,
off the top of my head, I have like
let's think about it this way. You says you worked as an LEO in different cities before.
Yeah.
What about weaknesses that you think you have as a previous LEO? Stuff you'd like to work on.
All right. What I did used to do is and I guess it might still be a habit is calling out on the radio. I'd be a bit too fast when I'm calling out 10 codes. So it'd be kind of hard for people to understand because I'm like saying it really fast. So I think I just need to slow down on saying them.
Okay. So going back to you working as an LEO in different cities here,
Yeah.
what do you know about working as an LEO?
Well, to be honest, I know a lot of it. As I said in my application, I've worked quite a long time as an LEO in those other cities. So I basically have a hard understanding of how mostly everything works.
Okay. So why are you leaving your job as an LEO in the other cities to come here?
Well, the other cities, they started taking a different approach to things. Some things that I don't really like. There's some others. There's one city I decided to move out of to go to the other one. Because they took the old commissioner basically left, and it wasn't really worth it for me to be there. Moved over to another city. And they started taking an approach at things that weren't really something that I enjoyed. So, I think it's time for me to step out of it.
I see. So what was your greatest responsibility or achievement in your last job?
I think it was the impact I had on a lot of people. I used to, I put myself as an FTO, at my old job, and I love training a bunch of people. And like I said, I'm not one to be aiming at high, like for example, high command, but I do like to build on people and see where they can take their adventures towards, within the ranks.
Awesome. Tell me what you liked and disliked about being with your last employer.
I did like the open arms they had, Their the community within that PD was actually not bad. I got along with a lot of people and it was quite fun. The one thing I did dislike though was their high command was, I feel like, poorly executed. I feel like the commissioner could have done a better job at choosing more responsible leaders for those positions.
Okay. So I know you have a couple years previous experience in law enforcement. But what have you done to prepare yourself for moving from a different city to here?
Well, I've actually been trying to get civilian run-alongs over here, but I think there was a chaos week or whatever that was going on. So they weren't giving out ride-alongs, and then the past couple days I've been trying to come over here. I guess PD's just been really occupied at the moment, but I have been just reading up on some books and such. Haven't really been. I've been exploring the streets now. Getting to know different stores and places. How the streets work around here. Street names, etc. But that's mostly what about my main point was I was just trying to get a civ ride along, but since I couldn't get one, I was just, like I said, just checking out all the new places around here, getting familiar with the place.
Okay. Last question, and then we're gonna move on to some scenarios. What do you think that you'll bring to the table that is different from other candidates?
Like I said, before I was in FTO, I really do love training people. I love being interactive with people. I'm somebody who everyone can approach. I also don't mind, for example, any situation, whatever happens, I'll always have fun in. I don't really care what happens. For example, if I lose a criminal, if somebody runs away from me, I don't catch them. If they slip out of my cuffs, I'm not gonna be pissed about it. I'm gonna have fun as long as we're both having fun. I always want to make sure that either side is always having fun, no matter what it is.
Awesome. Oh yeah, don't forget to stretch your legs.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Hey, beautiful.
What's cooking? Good looking.
320. Can you back tonight?
We're starting on the scenarios.
Hard.
Would you correct or even stop a fellow deputy, excuse me, even one who's your superior, if you found him or her engaged in questionable or objectionable practices?
I guess it depends on what it is. If it's something that I feel is unacceptable, I will. If I have body cam rolling, I'll have body cam rolling. If it's a superior, I won't force myself into it. I won't force myself into the interaction and be like, hey, this is really bad, unless it is something that's really bad. But if I feel like it's something that should be taken to higher ups, then I'll just write up a little report for myself, put in anything that I feel that should be mentioned, give it to a higher up. If it was someone below me or like a lower ranking, obviously I'd still talk to them and be like, hey man, this is like, it's not good. I won't make depending on what it is, I won't make a huge deal out of it. I'll be like, hey, just for future reference, you shouldn't be doing this. and just in case we didn't know, etc., etc. Unless it was a big thing.
Amazing.
Hmm.
Ba. So here in the city, when criminals rob a vault, we have to breach and clear it, and then close the vault behind us. So let's say you and me breached and cleared after some criminals left from a bank or vault, and we cleared the bank. There was nobody in there. We went into the vault to clear it, and coming out, you seen a stack of cash on the ground. Well, let's say we seen a stack of cash on the ground, and as we're closing the vault behind us, I grabbed it and put it in my pocket. Would you arrest a law enforcement officer who's performing a crime?
Well, at that point, if there's a law enforcement officer committing a crime, that just labels that person as a criminal. Therefore, any criminal who's creating a scenario where they are committing a crime that I have seen as a law enforcement officer, of course, I'm going to not fully arrest. I'm going to place, most likely placing cuffs, get some higher ups down in the scene, make sure we have any footage of that, of what I just saw the officer doing, and be able to speak to higher ups for more further options.
Okay. So, let's say you and me were out on patrol. I was FTIing you, and we pulled somebody over for a minor speeding infraction, and we light them up, they pull over, we walk up to the windows, we introduce ourselves, and these guys are just being blatantly disrespectful to me, and I'm getting tired of it, and you can see I'm growing frustrated. I look at you and tell them, fuck them, pull them out of the car, and we're gonna hit them with assault of LEO. Are you gonna follow the order because it was given by a superior, even though you know it's against the regulations?
At that point, no. Like you said, it's just for speeding. Obviously, that's first off, that's false. If that were to turn to a case, then I'd be both me and you taking the blame for that. So I'd just be bringing myself down with that. I probably, like I said before, I request for another higher up to come down to the scene.
Okay. Okay, how about this one? You and me are out patrolling. I'm FTOing you. Another person comes speeding by us. They're speeding 67 and a 45 here in town. 45 is the speed limit here in town. They're going 67. We pull them over, and it's your grandma. You writing a ticket for your grandmother?
Well, I didn't even know my grandma could drive that fast, but fair enough. It's 67 and a 45. That's still a major crime. You're going almost 30 above. You know, just a bit under, but that's still a major crime. She could still commit a murder. She could have killed somebody. So of course, I'm still gonna ride her at fine.
Understood.
Okay. All right, guy. Let's see how this is. All right.
Gotta throw some jokes in the interview. Gotta make it fun, right? All right.
Right.
Last one. I say, since you have 2 years previous experience, tell me about a time when you had to deal with the public in a situation that became super tense. How did you de-escalate the problem? What would you do differently, or what would you do the same?
Or what was the scenario?
Any scenario. Just tell me a time in your previous experience of an LEO that you had to deal with the public in a situation that became super tense. and how did you de-escalate problem, and what would you do differently, and what would you do the same?
All right, so there's just one time me and a fellow buddy were just patrolling. We just lost an individual in a 1080 that was on I think a dirt bike, I believe. I think he was a wanted criminal, has been doing it all night. So we were just patrolling, found him. He actually pulled over this time. During this, he tried to act as if he wasn't that individual, fully well known he was. He still had the same clothes, etc., no mask. So we're just going along with it, having fun. At this point, there were some public individuals that are on the sidewalk that decided to pull out their phones, started screaming, protesting, and wanted to record. Individuals at the time and actually approached the scene. At this point, we took it to our own responsibilities to tell the individuals that they would have to leave the scene, watch at a safe distance, not too close, unless they wanted to disobey our orders, in which they would be placed cuffs and arrested for disobeying the law order. At that point, there wasn't that many people who kept disobeying us. There was one individual, but we didn't want to jump straight to cuffing. We kept giving warnings because we wanted to give them a chance. We didn't want to be like that. So at that point, they started to be understanding about it. I wouldn't really change anything differently I did there. I did like how my fellow officers did understand at the point that we weren't going straight for cuffs. Still wanted to give as many warnings as possible so that they'd understand that they would actually go to jail. This is not really a joke. But yeah, there's not really that much I changed in that scenario.
Okay. Well, that being the ending, do you have any questions for me?
Did you note that down about my grandma?
Did I note that down about your grandma?
Okay.
Of course I noted it
How about
down.
how about we just side that, just pretend I never said that.
It's just a side note.
Okay.
It's
okay.
it's for the
should
sheriff,
be-
the undersheriff, and the captain and the assistant to determine what they want to do with that information.
I think you should put that at like the very bottom of the page in fine lettering, like very small, tiny one.
It is at the bottom. It's the third to last
Okay.
question I asked you.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Well, it should be at the very bottom, but in like fine print, like very, like on those bottles where there's this shit in fine print, like those commercials, like you can't even read that. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
The ones that talk really fast, pretty much. If they were.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay. I got you.
There we go.
Now
Perfect.
here, let me go ahead and move that down real quick, and bam, there you go.
There we go. Perfect.
Font size of 3 in quotations, but bold.
I think you should do one.
A 1.
Yeah. Like
We'll
one.
meet in the middle and do 2.
1.8.
Okay, a 3.5.
Okay. Okay, we'll do it too.
All right, Jonathan. Any
Okay.
more questions?
I think I'm good, man.
Okie dokie, man. Just give me one moment here, and I'll finish this up so I can save it.
Mr. Barbie,
Yeah.
All right.
when you guys gonna open up